Together.
All right, good evening and welcome everybody. I'm going to pass it over to Greg, KN6KIE here in just one moment. This is Nick, KN6DAL. Just a reminder, we have most of the digital connections up tonight. However, Bobby's Bay Area reflector is currently offline, and so that connection won't be available right now. And the W6 VVR machine is having some windy conditions that are affecting its ability to transmit properly. So if it's really scratchy on the repeater, we may have to just kill that as well, but we'll see how it goes. So with that, I'm going to let this drop, and then I'll pass it over to Greg.
Hello, everybody. KN6KIE here. I just want to welcome you all to the Anti-Net tonight. The Anti-Net's not an actual club. We're just a bunch of hams who like to hang out and talk about ham stuff. We are on W6 VVR tonight. I'm going to let it drop. KN6KIE. And we know it's kind of scratchy tonight. We're also on all-star nodes. I think somebody will put them in the chat there. I want to let it go for any kind of emergency traffic. If there's anybody who needs to break in, please do so now. All right, so we back up. All right, so this isn't an actual club. We're just a bunch of friends who like to talk about ham radio and do ham radio stuff. And there's no membership or anything. You just have to be into it as well. And if you are, then, come check us out. Come hang out. We love to talk about radio. Tonight's section is we were going to talk about summer field day. There's some of us who have not done it here, some of us who have done field days, and we wanted to speak about, kind of have a theme about different aspects of it. I'm going to ask someone here to come in and give us their thoughts on this first. I think I'm going to call on Justin. Justin, what are your thoughts on summer field day? What are the things you want to bring? What are the things you're looking forward to?
So field day. KM6 is ZTH, by the way. And what are the things I want to bring to field day? For me, I want to bring a water, because it's one of those things you kind of forget, like, oh yeah, I'm going to be out there talking with a bunch of people. I want to bring some snacks, because I get hungry easy. And it's also, you want to show up with a game plan. I know last year I did not show up with a game plan. I'm like, I'll wing it. And I spent more time like futzing around with a bunch of junk, and I didn't actually accomplish anything until like 10 minutes after field day had started, and it was really just compromise stuff. So know what you really want to do and show up with those tools and those whatever you need to get in the mode you want to be operating in. So as an example, last year I brought a bunch of stuff because I was going to work with whatever anybody wanted to work with, and it takes a lot more time. The other thing is come with a schedule in your mind. It gets real easy to get sidetracked. You have a lot of people that are out there, and you know, when you've been especially with COVID stuff, right? We've all been not around people, so you go see somebody, you're like, oh my god. So before you know it, you spend 2 hours talking and not setting up your antenna or not testing out something, right? So get all that stuff set up, have a game plan. So it's really a plan and water, lots and lots of water. You know, especially if you're operating phone, you know, your mouth's gonna get dry, let alone the fact it's hot. So KM6ZTH.
Hey, Justin. Thanks for coming back there. That's a good plan. Water is pretty key. KN6KIE. A good plan, I think, is a great idea as well. I've actually got my screwdriver antenna sitting on a tripod right next to me over here off camera, well, behind the building here, um, trying to make sure that I'm getting my stuff together as well. Uh, let's go over to another person here. We've got our one of our newest coordinators, Jim, KJ6FNP. Let's see what Jim's got to say about Field Day.
Well, I don't have much to say about it because this will be my first one. So, I'm looking to you guys who've been to at least one of them. But, Justin, great advice. Bring water, and it's probably going to be pretty warm. It is going to be the end of June, so definitely come prepared for those kind of things. I'm just going to bring everything I got, which isn't very much, but and then I'm just going to figure it out. And I am going to wing it because I don't have a plan necessarily. I just want to go for the camaraderie of fellow amateur operators, see what everybody else is doing. I've got two mobile radios. I got a FT857D that I'm going to bring, and I'm going to build just a really rudimentary HF wire antenna of some sort and some way to prop it up before I get there. So the clock is ticking, no pressure on me. And then I got a FT2980R that's just a 2-meter box. I'll bring one of my 2-meter antennas and hook it up, and a couple of handy talkies, which is hoop-de-doo. Everybody's got those. So I just want to go to meet all these guys that are going to be there, for the ones that are going to be able to make it, and then all the other people that I don't know that I will know afterwards. So to me, it's kind of a discovery mission for me, is to go and see what other people are doing, talk with them, get some ideas. You can read QST magazine all you want. You can, go all over the internet and find a bazillion different ideas, and everybody's, shack is different and they got a different antenna and all this stuff. And so it'd be just kind of nice to sit down and talk with people instead of reading or watching videos. Not that there's no value in that. There's a lot of value in it. And Lord knows that the last 15 months, we all probably spent way too much time in front of, screens and doing all that stuff. So I'm really looking forward to just sitting around and hanging out and walking around and seeing what other people are doing. Hopefully eat a little bit of good food, have just build the hobby through real social networking, where there's no actual network, it's human networking. So that's my plan, as best as I can come up with it. KJ6FNP. My new old call sign, by the way.
Yes, I like it. It fits well. It fits you well, my friend.
Thank you kindly.
KIE. I wanted to, before I bring it on to somebody else here, I wanted to talk a little bit about, the plan and the water and being prepared. I think that's all great. But one thing, batteries, dude. Make sure you bring enough batteries. Plan on field day not being something you can plug into, which is I'm still trying to wrap my head around how I'm going to get this done. But where there's a will, there is a way. I think antennas are pretty, yeah. But then you got RF noise from that too. It's got to be battery. But anyways, it's a deep conversation. I'll let it drop. I also found another document that I found pretty helpful when I was out there trying to do it, and it was something called the AARL WAS map, the Work All States map. You guys have seen this thing?
You want to
Put a
share
link
it, Greg?
into the. I'll bring it to I'll put a link into the chat there.
Okay.
I've got like a decent actually yeah. Here we go. I'll put this into the chat. And basically it just kind of gives you an idea of like where you're hitting like pretty easily with this map. Um, just it's all kind of color coordinated. It's just really tells you zones. Like if you're really trying to work all stations, if this was a goal of yours, um, it helps it. So when you're making calls and stuff, if you're trying to stay on pencil and paper, which I kind of tend to like, unless I'm working a digital mode specifically, but like when I'm taking notes, right? It's a nice thing to know. Just something I was into last time. Actually, call out to K6 FAK for introducing me to Field Day last year, or Winter Field Day. That was super fun. But I found that to be a really useful thing to do. So something to take out there. KN6KIE. Hey, so with enough of us speaking, let's see if we can't hear somebody on the radio. Why don't you guys give us a call if you can? We're on VACA or W6VVR in Vacaville. I believe we're on the Freestar Network tonight as well, and local All Star that's in our on the 2MC website. So let's see if there's anybody out there. Okay, KN6KIE calling any stations out there. Why don't you give us your idea on what to bring on field day?
Let it sit for just a minute. It's I think the VVR is not getting our connection very well at all.
Yeah, I think you're right.
All right, go ahead.
All right, KN6KIE. Hey, thanks, Frank. I understand W6VVR is rather scratchy tonight, and it sounds worse than it should. But rather than calling somebody on there, because I'm not hearing anyone back, let's pass it on to somebody else. How about KD6KW Bobby Lee? What do you think about Field Day?
Oh, I think field day's a hoot. You know, if you like to drink whiskey and not touch your radio at all, just go out and BS with everybody else and have a lot of fun. And then all of a sudden you realize, you know, you forgot that you were supposed to be like talking to other stations and stuff. But aside from that, I guess I'm kind of on the same page with Jim, you know, although I think this year, you know, I'll probably get a little bit more experience just learning the radio, because with COVID, after I built the bug out box, the thing's been sitting there, you know, because we've been locked down. I haven't been able to bug out anywhere, you know, so this is going to be a good opportunity to bring the boxes out, display them, work them. But I guarantee you'll probably find me at Jason's station or Justin's station or Aaron's station. You know, I don't want to be at my station all by myself, you know, so I'd rather, you know, I'm much more of a social person. So I'll probably give somebody an opportunity to use my equipment, help break in it, and do a little socializing, bounce around from station to station. Kind of, I like to see different people's configurations, how they set their stuff up, what kind of antennas they're running, what kind of transceivers they're running. Gives me kind of ideas, you know, am I kind of in a good, you know, playing field? Do I need to up the ante? Is there other types of equipment I should be considering to get my signal out more? So those are the things I look forward to, because it is definitely a learning event. And sometimes, you know, I'm on, oh, look, there's a squirrel kind of guy. And I get sidetracked just because I like to be social. So I would say that for me, it's all of the above. But anybody that does go for their first time is going to have a hoot, because there's a lot to learn. It's a huge experience with the wealth of knowledge and a lot of inspiration all in one ball. and it's just a lot of fun. So I'm looking forward to trying to get up there this year, bring my gear, see who I can hang out with.
Hey, thanks, Bobby. That sounds awesome. Actually, you know what? I'm totally with you. I want to do it all there. I totally want to set up my dream rig with everything I've got, you know, my little stash, and I want to see how everybody else does it too. That's probably beyond talking, you know, on the radio, my favorite part of it. Um, I think, you know, with that, let's move it on through here. How about Mr. Smith, W6AEF? What are you thinking about your field day plans, man?
I'm gonna let it drop here for a second.
Oh, there's my
Give me the
car
wink.
in Jim's driveway. I knew I parked it somewhere. I forget these things.
Yeah, I put that up there for you, Bobby, so you know which campground or what area to come to the race car. And although the stickers are starting to peel, that's an old picture.
All right. Let me let it drop one more time.
You're good. I just
in
keyed up.
case. Okay, cool. We didn't hear you guys. Hey, W6AEF here. You know, I've been to one field day, winter field day, and boy, I tell you what, I'm gonna miss WG5 EEK's famous hamburger, cheeseburger. That guy makes a mean burger. But it's similar to Bobby Lee, you know, for me, it's about camaraderie. I posted in the chat here on YouTube. I know there's a delay. The 2020 field day PDF rules guide. God dang, there's a lot of rules. Can't set up before this time, certain classes, entry categories. I'm not expecting everybody to go read that, but it's pretty serious. I didn't realize that until I started reading it. But you know, for me personally, I think for me, field day is field day every day. I don't have a shack. I have a drawer. I've got my FT891, my truck, and a mast that's hanging off the back of my truck right now. So for me, you know, field day is every day, and I enjoy it. You know, similar to how I handle the outdoors, I'll pack and repack my backpack like 5 times before an event. So field day would be no exception. I'll probably recoil the cords and cables, make sure they're nice and neat and tidy. And that's probably a bit OCD, and they all have their own little bag with their own little label on them. Again, OCD, but for me, it works. To Justin's point, like I don't want to show up and it just be an S show everywhere. Like, where's this? Where's that? So it's got it. Everything's got its place. And I get it. Not everybody rolls that way, but for me, that's just how it works. Nick, I'm gonna let it drop. All right, back on. So for this field day, my domestic supervisor skills were lacking. So I didn't get things on the calendar appropriately. So we're going to be splitting the time. I'm going to be going here locally here in the La Miranda area here in the East Bay in Northern California and helping set up with the local group that I am part of. And we're going to get 4 antennas set up, 4 stations. I'll be there for a couple of hours, bug out about 9 o'clock before all the action starts, I think at 11, and call it a day. So I may have my own field day in my garage, but for me, going to get it done in the morning, help out a little bit, volunteer some time, and then do some family stuff. That's it. Back to you, Mr. Anti-Net Coordinator, KN6KIE. This is W6AF.
Hey, Aaron, thank you, man. Thank you for your thoughts on that. I do like the.
Hey, hold on. I want to know who else has a particular way, and I know the connections are all messed. Who rolls their wires? You know, like I guarantee, you know, you hams out there have your own little neurotic processes that you're just not yet sharing. So I'd be interested if anybody else wants to chime in on their own little OCD neurotic processes.
Well, I have a different acronym. It's ADHD, and that's the polar opposite of OCD. So my FT90 is over in the corner of the office there. No, a 2980 is there. My 857D is over there. I have 200 feet of RG6 coax in a box over there. my soldering guns up. I'm just totally disorganized. So, and I've got like 4 backpacks out in the garage. I'm trying to figure out which one or two do I bring and what do I stick in there. And I'm just gonna jam it all in there. And then when I get there, I'm gonna turn it upside down and dump it all out. Not the radios, but everything else will get dumped. But just a different acronym. That's all.
Nick, KN60AL, I usually start out fairly organized, kind of to your point, Aaron. But by about 45 seconds into the process of getting my my remote station set up, everything's a complete and utter disaster. And then I find myself at some point in a hurry to get back like down a mountain, and everything just gets shoved back in the bag. So I usually stay organized for all of about a minute, and then I'm back into the whole S show game. Back over to you, Greg.
All right, so let's see. I think we should try to open it up and see if we can get any callers in. Anybody on the radio?
Bert is entering from the Matrix. Look, everybody on Zoom and YouTube, Bert is entering from the Matrix. Good to see you, Bert.
Do a donut, Bert.
What's going on, y'all? But getting on the freeway.
All right, Bert, we'll see you from the Matrix in a minute. Sorry to interrupt you, Greg. Let's get some folks out here talking.
Yeah. Thank you. Let's see if there's anybody on the radio. If you've got any comments about Field Day, please come now. Yeah, thanks, Frank.
Frank says, "Yeah, good luck."
Good luck getting anything. I bet we just sound like just cheese and fuzz on the
just
radio.
Just a garbled mess. That's okay. We sound great to ourselves, right?
And that's what matters. That's what really matters. Thanks, Nick.
I can take it for just a second. This is Nick, KN60AL. I just wanted to go over real quick. I'm not going to expand on this incredibly deeply, but I'll pop this up. You guys in Zoom won't be able to see this, but I'm just pulling up the ARRL Field Day rules, and Aaron had posted those in the chat. So basically, I've never been to a field day, so in all honesty, I don't really know what I'm talking about, but I did read through these rules, so I think that helps me a little bit. From my understanding, the exchange is a pretty simple exchange when you get on the air. All bands are present, so you can really operate within whatever means you have. And one of the beauties of field day is you get an opportunity to transmit outside of what your normal eligible class is. So if you're a general and you want to be able to utilize the extra class, you can do that. If you're partaking in a field day activity that there's a extra class licensee there, and you can do the same thing if you're a technician and you want to get on HF in sideband. You can do that as long as you have a general there. So that's a lot of fun, and it gives you an opportunity to sort of branch out and talk in some modes that you may not have had an option to do so before. But with the exchange, it's really simple. It's however many stations are there with an operator. So call it 5, call it 4, 15, whatever that is, and then whatever designated class you are, which can range from A through F. And if you read through the rules, it'll describe to you what those different letters mean. So, for example, if you're attending the W6VVR's field day for the Vac Valley Radio Club, we're going to be, say, 15 stations or maybe a little bit more, and we're going to be operating under A for a remote club designated for field day. So we would be 15A. And then you give your ARRL section, which is for us is going to be East Bay. So it'd be like a 15A EB or Echo Bravo, and that's the exchange that tells you that you made contact with that person and your call sign.
Do you have your call sign before that though too? I mean,
you would transmit you're going to be calling CQ with your call sign, and then once you get someone come back with their call sign, and then you exchange. You're a 10A Echo Bravo, or whatever area or whatever section that you're in, and that's the extent of that. And so if you want more information on what's acceptable, you can go and read those rules, and I think that it's going to be a lot of fun. So again, this is my first field day. My intent is I'm going to let the repeater that's not working right drop really quick. My intent is to come down. I'm going to be driving down probably early Friday morning. I'll get set up, hopefully get there in the afternoon on Friday. It's going to take me all of about 3 minutes to set up my station because I'm bringing 2 radios. Both are QRP. So I'll hopefully be making everybody else feel really good about the contacts they make while I'm screaming into my microphone, trying to get over everybody's 100 or maybe a little bit over 100 watts, because I think that's about the limit of what you're allowed to use for transmit power on field day. And that's my plan. And so I'm again in it for just the same reasons Aaron and Jim and Greg and Bobby Lee have all kind of mentioned, is to put a face to some people that I haven't met in person and get an opportunity just to hang out and see all the different gear, see what everybody else is doing, and maybe form some ideas of my own, because that's where I really enjoy this hobby, is seeing what somebody else is doing, taking that and then applying it to kind of my own spin on it. I've seen a lot of really cool stuff come out of that whole concept. One of them being, Bobby Lee's got some really cool bug out boxes that he's made in the past, and that we've seen float around on YouTube channels, and some people have gotten an opportunity to see them in person. And that's all kind of like a melting pot of that, seeing what other people are doing and learning from those, and then applying your own kind of fit and finish to it. And that kind of stuff is fun, and that's how you learn it, by getting involved and getting out with other people. So if you're in the Bay Area or Northern California area and you don't have a place to participate in field day, and you're thinking, man, maybe I'll just try it next year once I get a little more time under my belt, don't do that. Come out and see us at the with the Vaca Valley Radio Club, or find a local club that's doing something maybe a little bit closer to you, and just jump in. Everybody's welcome, and I'm sure any club that's hosting an event on field day would be more than happy to accommodate a new ham. So if you're new and you don't really know where to start, look up a club, email somebody and say, can I participate in your field day? And they'll get you the information that you need. So with that, I will pass it back to Greg. This is Nick, KN6DAL.
KN6KIE. Hey, thanks there, Nick. At a loss of words here. Let's see if there's anybody else out there that has got any ideas on the radio about field day. Wow, this is like it's got to be the worst radio experience a radio show's ever had. When
nobody can hear anything on the radio.
So I'll throw something out there for you. So there's a different thing to think about here when you look at how you want to class yourself. So a lot of times you look at it and you're like, oh, I'll just do that because that's what I know, or that's what's comfortable. What's really cool, if you look through those rules, is all the little niche classes. Things like QRP. Things like, what if I did only run on battery? What if I did work all the modes? Or what if I only work with one other person? What if I don't use my home shack, if I just step into my backyard, use a battery, and use a different antenna? Might not make as many contacts, but you'd be surprised, those niche things can get you more points if you want to go after this from a contesting perspective, right? Like this is the contest that's not a contest. But if you want to play those things, like, there's ways to do that, and it kind of makes it fun. I tend to agree. For me, if I'm going to be with a group, it's around the camaraderie and around those things that you're doing. But like Jim, you said you're taking out your 857 and your 2980. Why are you bringing the 2980, man? The 857's got all the same.
I know.
Right? And here's the thing that the 857 has. Does the 857 do 2-meter sideband?
I haven't even looked at it well enough to know that for sure, but I see people nodding. So yes, it does.
Yes.
Hey, so but that's the thing, right? Like, and that's the other fun thing is like you show up with something, and for the most part, in most clubs, I don't think anybody around here shows up with an attitude of like, oh, you don't know your own stuff. No, if you're like, hey man, I don't know my thing, there are so many Elmers out there that want to help us learn and do, and that's actually the kind of the fun thing of showing up with an older rig is it's more likely to be a rig somebody has experience with, right? They know the menus, they know those things, they can teach you all the, and that's the really cool thing that usually comes out of field day is hanging out with a guy and they show you stuff about your own gear that you're like, well, that's really cool. And at the same time, you get to go see the guy who's got the brand new what's the Yaesu that's out, not the 991A, but whatever. You know, the point is there's just so much about it, and that's the point is you can make what you want of field day. The cool thing is it's proof that the bands aren't dead. It's that we all just need to learn to get on the air and call CQ. So that's really what field day is proof of. KM6 is ETH.
KM6ZTH, this is KN6KIE. I hear you on that, dude. Like, I want to do the camaraderie. I want to see everything. I didn't really think about how niche it could be if you were really into contesting, which is pretty cool. And I am looking forward to talking to people who have like some of the same gear that I have. That might show me something new about, like, oh, did you think about this kind of thing? You know, just seeing everything. I'm really psyched to just get it all together, all of it.
So there's one other thing that's coming up here too. Not just field day, but kind of like our precursor to field day is this weekend. It's the ARRL UHF VHF contest. So everything from 6 meters up is an available mode, and it's a great way to take those modes and get used to all that right now too, right? Like, use your home rig, use your thing. Starts at 11 a.m. West or Pacific time, and that's Saturday, and that runs through 8 p.m. on Sunday. And it's just another way for us to prep for field day, another time to just, especially right when the thing starts off, it's almost fun not to call CQ, but just to listen for the first hour, because it's amazing how many people are suddenly out there.
Yeah. You know, Justin.
I want to mess with.
Go ahead,
I
Greg.
want to mess with sideband. I want to mess with sideband at 2 meter.
Yeah, Kellen posted in the chat. Kellen posted in the chat that he's gonna have a station set up for 2 meter sideband, so that'll be fun to play around with. And you know, I just want to mirror what Justin had said really quick. You know, about not feeling bad about knowing your gear. You know, I live in a constant state of confusion, so I completely understand that, and I think that that's awesome advice. You know, if you don't know, who cares? You know, get out there and just mess around with it and learn. And you know, I don't know half of the crap about my my station. Sometimes I'm always learning something new. So yeah, if you're not sure about you know, what you're able to operate or show up with a HT and be ready to play. You know, I'm sure other people will be out there that are willing to support you. You know, I know there's going to be some big stations set up for our field day, and pretty much everybody that I know is more than willing to let you get on and spin the big dial and check it out and see what's in it for you. So, anywho, I'll pass it back to Greg. KN6DAL.
KN6DAL, KN6KIE. Looks like I sent the link over to Dan over here. N6ETR has decided to grace us with his presence today too. Good to see you there, Dan.
Evening, guys.
Unfortunately, we can't really hear on the radio too much, but we're talking about field day and the kind of things that you want to bring and looking forward to. Why don't you give us a little bit of the Dan plan? KN6KIE to N6ETR. Sorry.
N6ETR here. Well, I started out with nothing but Heathkit valve radios. So naturally, I had a concern regarding power supply. So SAC HRO just shipped me a brand new 891 Yaesu. It'll be here tomorrow. And I've got the DX Commander mostly set up. Some fine tuning still required, and I'll be operating out of my toy hauler. So that's the plan.
That sounds excellent, man. That sounds excellent.
Thank you.
I think that'll be my next radio.
The 891.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Unless I
it's,
find a deal on an 857, then that 891 will probably be the next one.
Oh, dude, you missed a couple on eBay. One of them went for 6 something.
I got to
With the
recoup
extension
from the
case.
Cellagraft.
I know. Keep watching.
Yeah,
That
the
sounds great.
the Yaesu 891. It's there's a manufacturer's rebate on HRO right now, so you can get it for $609 plus tax. I think it ended up being $650 out the door. But it'll be my first solid state radio with a digital frequency readout, so I'm really looking forward to that.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. That is dope. I always
I
love
watched
to
the
hear
videos
about
when that
people's new
DX
gear.
Commander. That's pretty trick.
Hey Bert, what was that website that you referred me to? MC something or other? It's out
Oh,
MTS, MTC.
MTC, yes. That was like, I think it's tax free too, and they got big rebates on Yaesu radios these days.
Yeah. They usually have stuff that, with a lot of things being out of stock, it's just like, oh man. Like when they had the 891 on there for 609, I was like, I almost pressed the button. I had it in my cart and everything. I was like, do I get it? Do I get it? And I let it go, and I was like, then it was like out of stock after that.
Hey, did
Yeah.
you Bert, are you coming to field day, dude?
Yeah, I'll be there.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm bringing any gear or just gonna try everybody else's stuff.
You might as well just come light, dude. Just a lot of water.
Yeah.
And shade.
Oh,
Kilo
yeah.
November 6, Kilo India Echo. Hey, so we're thinking about letting some more people into the Zoom and just kind of moving over there. I know that it's really hard on the radio, so I don't want to annoy W6VVR any longer. They just hear popcorn and hash, right?
A free for all. Everybody come on in. Any subject, anytime.
Yes.
Hand basket weaving, SWR lube, it's all open for business. We just want you guys
Anything.
just want you guys to come in and say hello. Don't everybody freak out about the awkward silence. That's normal. We're waiting for our friends from All Star to chime in, and they're across the pond. So got to leave a good 10, 15 seconds.
Yeah, the free folk, a free star.
Free star. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, those
MTC website's got a lot of stuff on there. I had never been there before. Bert, thanks for
Yeah, that place is growing and
Thanks for
growing
sharing
and
that.
growing.
and it's from Texas. I support any business in Texas.
Booyah.
Yeah, that the owner of MTC sometimes he'll go on Facebook Live and whatever, and then he'll put out like coupon codes or whatever that's only there on the Facebook Live, and then so you can get on like special deals like 5% off or 10% off or something. Great. Free shirts sometimes too.
Some swag, a little free swag.
Yep.
Well, they're in a very small town in Texas, outside of Dallas, Paris, Texas.
Oh yeah, Paris, Texas.
Do you want me to key you up, Greg, so you can just shut down the repeater and then I'll unlink?
You don't go for it, dude. Probably easier. You do it yourself.
Peace out.
This is Nick, KN6DAL. Yeah. So we're not getting anybody through on W6VVR because the connection is not working properly tonight, and we suspect it is the repeater site. There's some pretty heavy winds up there on the mountaintop. So we're just going to shut that down. I posted the link to the Zoom chat. If anybody wants to jump in and say hi, you're all welcome in. And we'll say 7-3 to all the RF and digital nodes out there. And thanks for the use of those tonight. And we will see everybody over on Zoom. This is KN6DAL. I'll be clear. All right.
I am.
Hey, so
that
Nick,
was a
you have
bunch
to
of
do
good ideas. I'm sorry.
You
go
have to
ahead.
do. I guess we don't have to ID anymore. Nick, you got to do a loadout of your pack, right? So you got to do an unpacking of your pack and all of your gear, your Elecraft, and then a repacking of it. That's what I want to see.
Yeah. Well, the beauty
Dude,
of the
I'm into that shit too. Like really, like I bought a bag, like a tripod bag for my screw antenna, my Wolf River coil antenna, and I put a tripod in it. I've got it all set up, everything in its place, dude. Little baggies with crap in it, like the bolts to make sure that all of it, dude. I'm so psyched to do this thing.
See, the beauty of that Elecraft is like it's gonna fit in this tiny little case once I'm all done. Once I have an internal battery, and that idea has been floating around from a couple people. Adam actually posted a video of I forget what the title of it was. I think it was the world's smallest HF all bander or something like that. But it describes another type of bag that he ordered that worked with that radio. But you can literally just fit the radio with an internal battery, a small wire antenna that takes up no space or no weight, and maybe a pair of headphones, and then you're off and running. And if you're operating CW, then you would obviously want some sort of small key. And then if you're operating single sideband, it might not be a bad idea to get some kind of external mic. In fact, the mic, there's a couple of documents going around on YouTube and such on the microphone, and this is modded off of like a microphone earpiece headset that you would connect, and so it's a small PTT button with a little microphone inside, and it's small enough to fit in just a little pack, but gives you a little bit more options than just using the radio as an HT, I guess.
So it's either the smallest little all bander or it's a big hefty
HT. Yeah.
Depends on how you look at it, right? It's all a matter of perspective.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see that thing because I was so excited that you won it, first of all, you know, and you got it. That was really,
if it wasn't
like living vicariously through you.
Oh man, if it wasn't for that, for what we talked about, that would have never happened. That was the only way, because there was so many bids there was like 8 bids on it right in the last several seconds.
I know. I looked at him and I could see him like that. So after it ended, I was watching it, so I knew I was going to get a notification when it sold.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, and then I saw that I think you had touched a couple of bids real early in the auction.
Yeah.
And then some other people had gone on top of that, and then it goes quiet, right?
Yeah.
And then that last 10 to 20 seconds, it was just like ding 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 ding, ding like that, and I was like, and then there was yours, and then I didn't know it was yours until I saw your message that you won it, and I was like, ha ha.
Yeah. The cool thing though is it's so modular. I don't want to get on like an Elecraft kick, like I just turned into a fanboy or anything, but there's so many things that you can do. Like they make a board, so they make a real-time clock board, but there's also an aftermarket board out there that has an IQ out, so you can connect this board inside your radio and literally just have a one interface cable to connect to your computer and run an SDR app on your computer, like run SDR Play or some kind of SDR software, and you can pull up, make a pan adapter out of it, no problem. Like it's super simple. I think the board's like $80 or $90, and Elecraft sells the same board for just the time for essentially the same price. So there's lots of different options that people are out there messing around with, just trying to make these things more versatile. I don't
How
plan
easy
on
is
using
to
it.
install the board on that?
Oh,
Is it easy
simple,
to install?
simple.
Is it like, is it an exposed board, or you got to open it? I mean, you can open those things up, right? It's got a battery pack, but yeah, let's see this beauty, dude.
So the radio opens up with one screw on this side, one screw on this side, and then the whole back comes off. It's got a battery pack, and the tuner is right there. And then the board would actually fit right on this side, on the very edge, and it's super simple to install.
You know what? Is the batteries in that right there? You don't
No,
have
there's
batteries
no
in it right there.
there's no battery in it right now. I don't have an internal battery for it.
Hey, what's up, Kellen?
Guys,
Kellen, what's
How's
up,
it
man?
going, dude?
just enjoying life. Just got back from a little side hustle, make some ham radio money. Getting ready for field day. I still got to make my tower mounts, so that's going to be a little interesting.
Are these just for
But
field
we
day,
got to
the
get that
tower
30 foot
mounts?
of tower in the air. Yeah,
You're putting up a 30-foot tower on field day?
everything's got to be one off. Let's see, I've got
That's cool,
a 9-foot section, a 10-foot section, and I think a 6-foot piece, maybe a 5 or change. Plus, it's going to have a rotator on the top and another 5-foot piece of pipe. So it'll be off the rotator. It'll have the 15 elements of fury, the 2-meter sideband, and then I'm going to throw my big honking 22-foot tall delta loop on it. So this thing should be like 60 feet in the air by the time you get to the top.
Oh my God.
So we'll see what happens.
That's crazy.
I know Fairfield gets pretty windy
I
over
think
there.
my little screw
Yeah,
antenna is going to sit right underneath it, getting nothing, dude. Doing FT8.
Hey, me and Servando did a little side by side over the weekend out at Collins Lake, and I was rather surprised how well the Wolf River coil did compared to the Delta Loop. I mean, I put the picture up on Discord where it was just hanging off the back of the truck on a little hitch adapter, and yeah, man, the Wolf River coil, it totally, it was either equal to or maybe like a half S unit down below the Delta Loop, kind of depending on which we were receiving. Definitely the Delta Loop seemed to work a little bit better for the DX longer stuff, but the Wolf River coil definitely picked up a little bit higher S unit than on the local stuff. But it was very cool. Since I had the TS2000, we were able to pick between the two antennas and really get a side-by-side perspective on this. So those things are actually rather well built. I was quite surprised.
Yeah, I've read a lot of good
But
stuff.
hey,
on
I got my unicorn. That's all I cared about.
Oh, your Australia hit up?
Yeah, tell us a little bit about that.
Oh yeah, man, I was super excited, man. I was like a little kid when that thing happened. So at the house, it's like I can hear a handful of them, not a whole lot. They're usually down in the extra bands. And so then we went up to the lake and I put up the Delta Loop looking like a weirdo, right? Because I got this huge V neck or V style antenna in the air. And it's like I don't think it was like midnight, 11:30, and all of a sudden we're hearing like 3 or 4 different Australian channels. And I was like, oh, first one I hit, I was like, this is going to be the guy. I'm going to get him. And so I sat and waited. And then finally he's like, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and QSY and, I'm going to put the mic down. And so I was like, crap, man. I threw the mic down. I was like, this is dumb. Sat for 20 minutes waiting for this guy to stop talking. And then finally he, another guy picked up and called him out. And he's like, came right back on the mic and was like, all right, last call, I'll pick you up, and I was like, crap, that could have been me. I shouldn't have sat on it. I should have just asked him to come back. And I waited for another, 10, 15 minutes for that conversation to end. And then I just threw my call sign out. And the guy he was talking to was like, oh, I think you left. And finally he came back. He's like, I'll take it. So I was like, man, I've been waiting for so long to get Australia. And yeah, sure enough, man, it was 100 watts off the lake water, total. I was like, dude, I got you at like a 5 and 1, like you're just above the noise floor. He's like, yeah, you're about the same. So I was like, I don't care what it is, I still got it.
Hey,
So,
Kellen, were you running
it's
power?
definitely pretty cool to be. So I ran a cord off of my my toy hauler
which I have 2,400 watts of solar power plus 5 batteries, which will be out at field day. So if you need power, Greg, just run a cord over to PG&E. We'll hook you up. But yeah, no,
I was
we're
gonna-
But
I
no,
was
and
kinda
no
counting on it,
amplifier.
too.
Were you barefoot, or did you I don't know if you can run an amplifier off your well, you can, because you're like
I
Mr.
can.
Electricity guy.
Yeah, no, I didn't bring no amplifiers today, but you know, I guess I could have hooked up at least 1 kW from the Clipperton L if I brought it, but no, just doing 100 watts barefoot, and that's about it.
Awesome, man.
It was pretty cool though to know that 100 watts will definitely get you on sideband all the way to the other
It's
side
pretty
of the world.
cool to know that you can run a 1K amplifier portable. That's a feat in of itself.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, Callan
So
does
yeah,
have
I got a
some-
what,
That sounds
2,500 watt,
perfectly reasonable
inverter.
to me. That sounds like a perfectly
Yeah, right?
reasonable idea is to run gobs
It's
of
a-
power mobile.
It's the expectation, right? That's funny. Yeah, I was kind of
Hey, well, I can run the AC in the summertime, so that's all that matters.
I was
Oh, yeah.
counting on grabbing a little bit.
Yeah, it
of
was
power
definitely
off
a,
you, Callan.
Say that again, Greg.
I think
said
everybody
I was
is.
definitely. I said I was definitely counting on grabbing a little power off of Kellen's hookup over there.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw a extension cord in my bag. No, I don't think I'm gonna really use much power. I don't have anything really drawing much power, and I've got several. I got a couple. I'm gonna bring 3 batteries. I'm gonna bring a little 4.5 amp hour bioenno. I'm gonna bring a 12 amp hour lithium iron phosphate and a 8 amp hour lithium iron phosphate, and I think that'll cover me for most of the weekend. I'll just charge them at night.
Nice.
Isn't
You're
there,
gonna charge
isn't
them.
there,
You gotta leave. You gotta leave the site to charge them, dude. Unless you know somebody.
isn't there one guy bringing a generator from?
Those are noisy. You don't want a generator.
Yeah.
You don't want it when you're operating on it, most definitely, dude.
I'm not plugging
Yeah, we'll
any
find
of
out
my
who's not
equipment
grounded
into a
at their generator.
generator. No, if you're gonna run a
What's funny is you don't even have
generator,
to be plugged into it. You could just hear it.
yeah, if
Yeah.
you're gonna run a
Oh, you'll pick it
generator
up, most
and run equipment off of it, you really want to get a true sine wave converter, and they're expensive. I mean,
Oh yeah,
even
goal
your
zero. There you go.
what's that? Yeah, he's got a
Oh no, Aaron.
How many watts?
Yeah, a
show
little
off the
goal,
goods.
yeah, a little goal zero here. I don't know how many. This is lots of panels, and I just hang them off my truck, and you
That's
can
cute.
go all day off the grid. Yeah,
How many
it
watts?
works. I forget. I don't know. I don't remember off the top of my head.
it looks like
It's
a
enough
60
to
watt.
recharge the. No, it's more than that on this one.
Probably somewhere
don't know.
around 110 to 150, something like that.
Oh, this is the Nomad 100, so I think it's 100. Yeah. Anyway, I love these things. I just get a little adapter, and it just to charge everything. You never have to worry about it.
Power
That's
works
what I'm
has a
lacking
couple-
now.
we've
That's
got,
what I'm lacking is my battery game, dude. Like, how am I gonna do mobile? Like, I think I've got everything coming together. How am I really gonna power my shit now?
Hey, does anybody ever run 220 on field day? I was looking over the rules and it says anything over was it 50 megs you're allowed to do on field day? Is that just like one of those bands nobody uses?
220.
I don't know. There's all kinds
Yeah.
of niche stuff there, right?
Yeah, that's one of those weird ones. I mean, you see these tri-bander handhelds, and they're all, then they, for whatever reason, it's like 2 watts for the 220. I haven't read why that's the case, but a lot of the radios that I see that have 220, it's actually really low wattage on those.
I just picked up a TYT 9000 that does 60 watts.
Yeah, there's usually
okay.
a couple people that do 2 meters, and there's usually like last year Jason organized it, and he had everybody allocated to a different frequency, and there was a couple people that were set up for doing 220. So I'm if you bring that, Kellen, I'm sure people will want to operate it.
Or what?
1 second. What was that?
We'll talk about it later. All right.
If
Watch
you
out for the guy behind you with the weapon.
Yeah, there's a man with
That's
a
my
weapon
brother-in-law,
behind you.
What
No,
was
but
you said bring the 220?
if you bring the 220, somebody will operate it, especially with that amount of power, because Bert's right. You know, most of them are limited. I think it was Bert that said that. Was that you, Bert?
What?
Who?
No, I
Who?
don't know.
It was me,
That
Jim.
was Jim. Yeah. So most of them are limited in power output. Most radios that operate on 220, like I've got that 878 that I opened up to be able to transmit on 220, but I just don't have the guts to do it because I don't want to blow it up. And it's only like,
actually, Alinco sells a 220, like a mono band 220, because they built some specifically for digital modes, and I put APRS on it for a while, and it worked perfect for a long time. But like, it's only $120 for the 60-watt 2-meter or the 70-meter, but the 220 band, they want like 250, almost $300 for like a mono band little handheld that just does 220, just because it's like such a niche little thing. I wonder why they don't actually, you don't see so many people powering something so big, but that's the biggest one I've seen other than handhelds, dude.
Yeah, so my 60-watt TYT 9000D, I think I picked it up on Amazon for $140, and that thing just does FM only. But I have the transverter, so that'll let me do sideband and AM if I wanted or anything else. So we'll just be doing FM.
Something about that band, dude. People like they just jack it up, dude. The industry kind of jacks up. That 1.7.
It's like the weird spot because you're right in between TV stations, from my understanding.
Oh
So,
yeah.
like channel 13, I think is like right at like 220 or 226, I think, or something. They're either right above or right below that band, and somewhere in between on some stuff. So be a little strange.
You know what? If we don't use them as amateurs, dudes, they'll take them like the federal. Just put something in there, man. We should use that shit. Use them all.
Oh, yeah.
What is the highest an amateur could get to, dude? It's like in the 2 megahertz or the 2 gigahertz range, and we like broadcast up there in the 1500s and 1100s as well.
1240 megahertz is the highest band. 23 centimeter.
1240. Okay, that's it.
I thought we had some space in the in 5G.
Yeah, they're due the Arden that.
Oh yeah, you know what? You're right.
Data though, right?
Yeah.
The mesh networks run on that.
Mm-hmm.
We have light privileges.
Yeah, that's right.
It goes way up there.
Yeah, we actually have 76 gigs through 81 gigs, and then anything above 275 gigs.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta lay. What you could just use is there's like you need optical line for that sort of shit. I mean, that's
Right.
just not. It's not free to just use somebody else's, right? Those are all private networks. That would be fucking fresh, then, right? I bet Kellen would fucking do it before any one of us did.
I give it a whirl, but man, the coax you need for that thing, it's like running a piece of 3/4, copper line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For optical lines, yeah.
But we can make something happen. I'm not afraid of building something.
Hey, Bert, when are you getting out of the Matrix, man?
Well, there was like an accident over here on 37. Just past the helicopter goes ground over there. Looked like somebody went off the road or something like that.
Oh, geez.
Where are you, Bert? Is your APRS running, dude?
No, I don't got APRS. I'm just passing that Skaggs Island. It was over by that bridge.
Oh, on 37, yeah.
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 Cool.
Are you 121 or 37?
37.
Oh. I was just there yesterday. That's where I was talking on my CB to Washington. I was pretty excited. I've never talked to anybody non-local with my CB anyways.
I've never heard.
Yeah, I
of
saw that.
CB.
I saw that on Discord. That was pretty cool.
I don't really bring it in my car with me. It's probably my own problem, right? Why I don't hear.
Well, I'm getting on
anybody
a
on
road
CB.
trip here pretty quick. I'm going on a road trip at the end of July, so I figure, might as well throw the antennas back on the truck and see what happens. And so, I picked up a foot warmer, as some would say, and that thing definitely pushes the signals a little bit better. And I was able to do some skipping, which was not common for my 4 watts of juice before. So that's pretty cool.
What's CB's like at 11, right? Around 11,
Yeah,
10, 11, somewhere around there.
27 point something. I can't remember.
It's like it's like 26 to 27.
And so if you got a capable radio as an amateur, as a ham, can you troll around 11 on their single sideband? It's not approved, right? To mess around on CB.
Well, your license only carries you to the ham band, so it doesn't carry over to the CB, the citizen
CBs,
band.
Yeah.
So even though you're a licensed ham, you're still stuck to the 4 watts of radio.
I'm one of my best friends. He's been saying that his brother was a ham for a while, and I kept looking up his call sign, and I'm like, hey, dude, I've looked up every combination of your brother's name. I can't find this guy anywhere. And he put me on the phone with him the other night, and he was on CB. I'm like, oh, no wonder. But this guy he's like a pirate CB guy, dude. Like, there's a whole community of pirate CB guys, and they all got their own call signs in their own structure, and like 100 watts, 200 watts, dude, massive towers, just running CB. I thought was pretty cool. I mean, those guys get away with all that. Then
there's some CB operators that are running thousands and thousands and thousands of watts of power.
I think it's just cool that they tend to stick inside their band, right?
Yeah, 5K for a CB guy is like nothing.
What's that? Oh, 5K for a CB guy? Yeah, some of those guys
some of these
a lot of money on that shit.
The guy that I was listening to, he was stepping all over a guy in Sydney, and the guy he was stepping on said he was running 45 kW. So that's some serious juice.
How much?
45,000 watts.
Oh, damn.
That's what he was saying, but I have no idea.
K6FAK is over.
That's a broadcast station. 45,000
I've
watts.
seen some amplifiers that really light up some rooms. What is it like? I think CB they said is Super Bowl 6, Channel 6. Those are the guys that run super high power, and they're doing DX all the time. It's interesting to hear them because they're calling CQDX looking for skip. I thought that was just a ham thing. I didn't know it was a CB also.
Interesting. Hey guys, I gotta bail. I gotta get up early in the morning. I'm driving up to Sacramento for the day. I'm doing some panel interviews. I'm not interviewing panels. I'm on a panel for interviews. So
How many watts do you have to supply?
No watts. I'm a 0 watt panel interview member.
Hey, watts is working, man.
Yeah. So
well, good to see you, Jim.
Yeah,
all right, Jim. Have a good night.
Take it easy. Have a good one. Bye.
What's your plans for field day, Rick?
Also, I got to bug out.
Yeah, Rick.
Oh, see you later, Bobby.
Thanks, buddy.
Have a good night.
See you guys, man.
We'll see ya.
Bye, everybody.
Peace.
See you guys.
Bye, Rick.
You got any plans for field day, Rick?
I will probably be going to either 1 or 2 locations, just dropping in, but not anything overnight.
You gonna set up a radio?
Rick's just going for the barbecue, man. He's gonna stop over here, grab some food, stop over there, grab some more food.
That is kind of it. I do go and talk to friends. I don't know that I'll get on the air at all. But we'll see.
Hey, should I expect to like barbecue? Should we expect a barbecue? Because like I was kind of looking at the stuff for the Vaca Valley Club, and it sounds fun, but I think there's gonna have like a centralized food place.
Yeah, it's always like one
doing their own thing.
little tent.
Do we gotta throw down cash? I mean, I'm cool with that. I just
Club
the
pays.
club-
all on the club. The club's
Club.
doing the whole thing.
Yep, the club pays for everything.
I don't think we have to cook a single meal while we're there, do we?
I know they're bringing a toilet.
I sure hope not.
Definitely bringing a private John.
So what do we do about between meals? Do they have is there
Your first meal? I think you could walk to the Taco Bell actually.
do they
Chili
have
Belly Factory's right there.
do they have lunch, dinner, and dinner, or how does this work?
Last year when I was there, they had lunch and dinner when I was there, and you could like go up to the table and just like grab stuff. There's like chips and stuff like all over the place. Bottles of drinks and stuff, bottles of water.
Me and Greg are going to be volunteering in the food booth quite a bit. We're just going to be there to help.
You're gonna see me there a lot.
Yeah.
Actually, I did volunteer to help, like get people like moving through, moving through the gates and stuff like that. I know Don was like, just get here and then don't expect to don't move your car at all. So, all the antennas and everything, all the guy lines around cars. I would imagine that'd probably be the biggest mess at controlling all that crap.
Yeah.
I said there wasn't a lot of guy wires around all the stuff last year over at Kevin's place. I was quite
Oh, really?
surprised how well it looked. Yeah.
I saw the video of that, dude. There was like a dude, it looked like an amusement park ride, dude. Some guy with the fold over antenna, dude. Maybe it was a year before. I don't know. Actually, Chris CMB was in that video. And I remember he was setting up one. It was one of Jason's videos. But I just remember seeing pictures of a monster. I'm expecting
Like a
at least
CMB
one
brought his
carnival ride, dude.
DX
CMB
Commander.
brought his DX Commander. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he actually pulled that thing down because it's so windy on Saturday night.
Are you bringing yours too, Dan? You got one.
Yeah,
don't you?
I'm curious to see how it'll react in Fairfield's windy weather.
Yeah, it's like windy channel right there.
If it's going to affect the SWRs or anything like that.
That's why I want to park my little tiny car right between your hauler and your hauler, dude.
Well, that's good because I asked Don actually to put Kellen and I next to each other because I'll be plugging into his solar panels.
You know what? I'll talk to Don too and just tell him seriously, man. I mean, between you guys, because I'm hoping to tent camp or at the worst, I'm bringing that little tiny car of mine, dude. I'm sleeping in that thing, or I'm sleeping very closely outside of it, dude.
We'll just park you right underneath the Delta Loop. You'll warm up real good all night.
There you go, dude. Yeah. Just keep running like 10 watts off that, dude. Just
I'll be interested to find out if anybody's actually going to do an analysis to find out their radiation pattern.
I was just going to say something.
Caution tapes that.
Like get some FLIR cameras, dude. Does anybody have one of those heat cameras, dude? Walk through there.
I don't think
and
that doesn't show RF, does it?
It'll show the heat giving
so.
off all the reflection and stuff, dude. That shit all creates heat, man. And it'll get that stuff.
That's why my trailer's aluminum. It reflects. We'll see if anybody's got a ground rod strapped to their trailer.
Yeah, like a traveling Faraday cage.
Yeah, right? Exactly.
Hey, what's up, Dale? Thanks for coming, dude.
What's up, Kellen?
I'm going to line my hat with ferrite beads. I'll be good to go.
There you go.
I just figured my tinfoil hat did more than one thing. It's like a Swiss Army knife, dude.
One can no longer purchase tin foil. It's all aluminum, so it doesn't work.
It doesn't work anymore. How's it going, Mike?
Anybody remember Maxwell Smart?
I just got back and look at some other stuff. How you guys doing?
Living the dream.
Hey, it's good to see some of the guys at the Hamfest a couple weeks back. It looks like Bob Billy took off already. It was good to see him and Ben. They sold a lot of stuff, I heard.
I was really hoping to go to that. Heck yeah. I was looking for a 220 amplifier, but I was stuck digging at my house, digging for a sewer line.
Oh, no. Oh, man.
Yeah. Well, it's a new sewer, not an existing sewer.
Oh, okay.
The old guy with a stick behind me, I'm putting in a granny unit behind my house for him. So,
okay.
Yeah, I was stuck digging 170 feet for that thing. And yeah, the whole time I'm just sitting there operating the twin sticks, just like, man, I wish I could go. But yeah, nope.
Well, the good news, more will come. There's supposed to be one. It looks like the one Lincoln's is a go for March. So up north of Roseville. So sign of the times. Time to live life and breathe air.
Dude, I'm inoculated, man.
Well, if
I'm not
What's
wearing
that?
masks anymore. I'm inoculated. I'm not
Oh.
really wearing my mask anymore. Well, at least at my house or outside, you know.
There you go.
Well, if you ever see a 220 amplifier, I'm a buyer.
That sounds good. How you doing there, Nick, up in Washington?
I was
Again,
quite
some
surprised
rain
when
up
I
Doing pretty good.
there? Okay. No, just chilling out a little bit. Was off today, doing some odds and ends. So it's like a little quick high there, and just kind of get back to work tomorrow. So glad everyone's doing all right. Anyone go to Pacific
Good to
by
see.
chance?
Good to see you, BXX. Hammer in work. No breaks. Hammer right through. That's the way you do it.
Yeah, no kidding. I'm covering the series again tomorrow. I was cool. I was able to hear on the Carlin system. I was on system 14 up at around Cisco Grove. It's kind of a limited coverage from about Immigrant Gap to Donner Summit. It's pretty much dead after that. But it was pretty good to try.
Yeah, I was happy to see you there the other day because I was sitting here in my shack garage work radio shelf, and I'm like, getting 6BXX. That's Michael from Carmichael on the Carla system in the middle of nowhere. So that was cool.
Yeah, well, like I said, it's limited coverage up there between Immigrant Gap and Donner Summit. But it doesn't hurt to try, so it worked out pretty well. I like Carla. It's pretty good to have around if you have a radio and the coverage to work with it. So it's not bad.
Yeah, and hey Dale, real quick, man, you and I haven't met, so it's nice to meet you, Aaron here in Moraga. I
Hey, how you
really
doing,
enjoyed
man?
the stuff good, man. You're some of the stuff you're doing in climate and posting and sodas and POTUS. Yeah, on the Facebook page. I've enjoyed some of your posts. I just wanted to say that.
Oh, right on. Thank you.
Are you doing
Very cool.
sodas now? I didn't know. I don't follow along. That's the wife runs the Facebook page.
Mhm.
Yeah, you didn't know you were
Awesome.
out there
You know
killing in
what?
your underwear the other day when you were on vacation with your kids in the lake. She was like full on Kellen in his underwear. You got to monitor that, man.
You know, it was
That's
awesome.
all right.
So I took my kid all the way up into the high desert, out into it was basically an oasis out there, and he got the full on stand by me treatment, minus where the leech attacked. You know, he came out of the lake. He's got a leech on him. It's like, oh my god.
Oh no.
I was all, pull it off. You're fine.
Right, so you never really hear about that any longer.
Builds character.
People used to think that was religious, dude, or like medicine and shit. Put a leech on them.
Oh yeah. Oh, what do they call it? Bleed out or bled out?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
that's what they were
it's-
doing.
Oh, bleed outs or something like that, right?
It cured him of COVID. Perfect. It was awesome.
There you go, dude. Exactly.
I'm
That's
watching
terrible.
Kellen over there.
I couldn't
just
imagine
outside
having,
his home. I don't know how many times I've passed by your place. You know, my cousin, he lives right around the corner, as I explained, with you know, the yard full of cars and boats.
Yeah, I'm almost tempted to go knock on his door about that Camaro sitting out in the front.
Oh, he'll never let that
I see
go.
the Suburban too, and I'm like, oh man.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's-
man.
it's-
You
he's
know,
got some good
it's like
stuff.
some of those things you see, and you're just you see things at people's houses, and you're like, man, it's just gonna sit there for so long, and you just know nothing's gonna happen to it, and you know you could do so much for it, but then you know, there's always that sentimental value attached to things. So
So, you know, it always
I don't know.
amazes me.
You know,
with
usually
cars
when
is
you put
guys
that
will-
little
they'll let them rust into the ground before they let them go.
Where they gonna go, yeah. I like me some like
Yeah.
1980s Suburban though, dude. The 1980s, 1970s Bourbons, those Chevy Bourbons with the back, you know, barnyard doors in the back. Those
Oh,
things
yeah.
were like they're huge, man.
yeah. Yeah, because he's got like a what, like an 89, 88 Suburban in the front too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I
Yeah,
used to
'cause
have
it's got the drip rails on the side and all that.
Oh, I think it's beautiful. It was funny, you know. So at the Harley shop, we had
Get
a
closer
big
to it, Eric. I can't see.
event,
Oh,
and there was a bunch of guys getting stuck in the field across the
Oh,
way, and he was charging them $20 to pull them
That's
out
your
because
wife
they got
didn't like
stuck
your,
in the mud.
your antennas, Aaron. You're like it's mobile, so it's not
Yeah.
actually down.
Yeah, I was just showing you guys here. Like when we were talking about field day, like I told you, every day's field day. So in the back of my truck, there's the
wow.
giant mast. Here's the 20-meter end fed sitting
Oh,
here, and
Crazy.
So
it just
are you
it's
out there
hooked
in
up on
His
the-
wife won't let him put an antenna up front, so he puts it right out in the street out front.
his little ham radio, HRTV. But so I got it connected to the, to the truck, and it just shoots all the way up 33 feet.
How tall is
Is
the
that a
mast?
Goes
replacement
back-
pole?
How
back
tall
that
is the
way.
mast?
Dude, that is so awesome.
33 feet. And it
33
just
feet.
sits there, and it just shoots right into the garage. But that'll go down
Didn't you
here
break your
when I'm
last
done,
pole?
and then do what?
Didn't you break that last pole? Is that a new one? Or no?
Well, I broke it, and then I jerry rigged it back together, so it's still working. But that's my field day every day. This front yard, neighbors walking by. What the hell is that thing? What are you doing in there? And I work in here, so I've got my computer and 2 screens, and then it's just people give me all kinds of weird eyes. But
This your
yeah,
office right there? This is your office?
yeah, here in the garage, yeah.
You
Can
work
we
at
see
home?
it?
You
Like,
can
check-
answer your neighbors with a question. You just say, well, have you ever heard of search for extraterrestrial intelligence? I can't say much more.
Oh man, sometimes I'll leave the radio on in the garage with the window cracked, and you just never know. It's just funny the looks you get. But operating portable is fun. Like I said, it's until I have a spot to put a nice base station, I'm gonna stick with the 891 and the ID 5100 in here, and the few little HTs I've got. So, but it's fun just playing around.
Hey,
That
Aaron.
is
Yeah,
super
smoker.
cool, man.
Oh,
I like your
You-
office. I didn't realize you worked right there in your garage too.
Oh,
The
okay.
place I've been watching you do this meeting all the time.
You know,
Well,
I got a
he's
lot
out
of,
of what,
there's the
Moraga? It's all
drawer.
greenery out
You're
there.
fucking Spartan, dude.
Nice.
That's how you take meetings and shit in there too.
Yeah, hell yeah. Well, I mean, why not? It is what it is.
Well, you know what? Like most of my or my meetings and work too, because I work right here. Is I don't really have to look at them. There's a camera, but nobody ever turns them on. So.
Hey, quick question, Aaron. Aaron,
Go for it.
it looks like you got some serious mountain biking back there.
Oh yeah, yeah. I don't ride on the road anymore, but I've got a Santa Cruz Mega Tower 29er eyeballing me for next week. I'm going to be in Tahoe, so I'm going to go. The kids are going to be at camp, and I might go play. So yes,
Well, the
no
reason
more road biking.
the reason I bring up, I have a brother-in-law. His name is Brian, up in the town of Forestville, Sonoma County. He has a shop called River City Cyclery. Him and his wife own that shop in downtown Forestville. So check it out sometime. And on Facebook, look for River City Russian River, my bad, Russian River.
Oh, so we can go there. Get your bike worked on. Check out, get some swag, then go get some Pliny on the way out of town, and then call it a day. There you go. So it sounds like a good mission to me.
Yeah, well, my brother-in-law Brian, he's in his early 50s, but it doesn't look a day over 40.
That's what riding bikes does for you.
I kid you not, man. But yeah, go to Forestville if you go up there in Sonoma County. Check out Russian River Cyclery.
That's because he doesn't
check
drink the piney.
That's your brother.
Oh,
Mike?
there's an antenna.
That's your brother.
Brother-in-law, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
your
brother-in-law.
okay. That's cool,
Hey,
man.
Greg, is that your new rod and reel to shoot the random wire over a tree to get it up in the air? Is that your new
Thought about-
technique?
This one's not stiff enough, dude. This is one of my nicer saltwater casters.
Nice.
But actually, I have thought about doing that, dude. Like making like something a little bit a little shorter, dude. I mean, you can cast pretty good with these. This is more.
It's a
finesse
thing,
really.
man. So I expect Bert on Discord to create some contraption, and maybe Nick can help him with his 3D printer, get a CO2 cartridge for the blaster, and create something that will shoot it automatically over there. And I'm sure you
potato
guys can
guns,
think of
dude.
something.
Yeah,
I've seen those guys build.
I'd
them
say a
out
potato
guns.
gun and an eye lag. Yeah,
Yeah, potato gun.
potato gun, a little string. Be the
So
way
it's
to
a
go.
thing,
Or-
huh? Wow.
You don't even need a CO2. You need like a can of Aquanet, dude, or anything, dude.
I'll tell you what.
A guy in our
That's not a half bad
in
idea, Aaron.
one
Because
of our meetings, a compressed air thing he made that you can pump up with either a bike pump or at the gas station, but it was sealed that tight, and then it would shoot a I think it was just a tennis ball. But anyway, this thing, you pick it up, it's like this big, you know, and boom.
Pneumatic guns, yeah, that's an art form unto itself. Building those things, man.
It's really not that bad. You just need some map gas and a piece of 3-inch ABS or 2-inch ABS, a little copper slug, and some some tape. We've done some serious damage with those things. You just auto lights.
I used to play
perfect.
I used to play paintball for a while. Like I got a pretty nice.
Oh yeah.
Dude.
I got really into that. Yeah.
I had a
little
expensive
autococker
one
for a long time.
back in 2005 or something, and I would shoot ropes. I had like a little 2,500 psi tank that would hook up to the back of it instead of like CO2 or something, and I would shoot ropes of paint. Like 32 balls a second came out of this thing. It's got this little dual trigger, and you just throw wads. There's just no way around it. And they hurt like hell too. It was fun when I was in my early 30s, man.
All right, guys, I'm out.
Man.
I gotta go.
You out of here, Aaron?
See everybody.
See you, Aaron.
Hi, Aaron.
Yeah.
Have a
Nick,
good night, Aaron.
I know you're right behind me, Nick. I know you're right behind me, working parenting calls. So good
I
to
am.
see you guys.
I'm
Till next
actually
time.
gonna
Yeah.
say I'll leave the Zoom up for just a few more minutes. I'm gonna say 7-3 to YouTube. We'll see everybody next week.
All right. I think I'm gonna